Thank you for tuning in to the Sisters Talk podcast. I'm your host, Danny M. And today we have very special guest, the Faith Supplier.
Hi.
Thank you so much for gracing the stage today on this Sunday evening. Now, behind the scenes, we're talking about a lot. Okay, there are a lot
Okay.
that happened since the last Sisters Talk podcast. And I came back within 1 week. Normally, we do one show per month now moving forward. I have a lot of projects going on. I want to thank everybody who has been consistent with helping me with those products or projects, I should say. I'm going to streamline some of those projects now. I have a new movie alert. I'm working on a horror film called Tell and Bones. You can find more information at sisterstalk.org/Tell Bones. So check it out. Anyone that is looking for camera experience, I now have a budget. So DM me. I will be looking forward to receiving those DMs, emails for anyone who wants to help work on this project with me. We need to get things wrapped up. Now, let's get back to what the Faith Supplier and I were talking about behind the scenes. Now, for people who don't know, the topic today is controlling your thoughts. This came from the Faith Supplier herself. Now, I think it's very appropriate to talk about this because we were talking about Chris Rock and Will Smith. So, as everybody knows, Will Smith came out of character and slapped Chris Rock during the Oscars, the 2022 Oscars. Very mixed feelings about this whole situation, but what has come to play here, as we can see in the news, is that on April 18th, there will be a final decision that will be made on Will Smith's behalf in terms of how they will discipline him based on the code of conduct, for the Academy Awards. Now, I know you normally don't talk towards this Faith Supplier, but I want to know your take on this incident that occurred.
Yeah, so y'all know I be staying in my business. I go by that. I stay in my business. But it really goes about what our topic today is about, which is controlling your thoughts. And I feel like at that moment, Will did not have the thoughts to control. At that moment, those thoughts was out of hand. He wasn't able to rethink everything before he did it. So when you are trying to control your thoughts, you make decisions that you really don't want to make. This is the reason why Chris ended up crying when he gave his speech or whatever the case may be and apologized.
Will Smith, not Chris.
Oh, Chris. Oh, shoot.
Will Smith began crying.
Will. So this is the reason. Sorry, see, y'all know this is why I be mad at my business, but this is the reason why Will starts to cry after his speech, because he just thought about what he just did. He didn't fully think about that. And when it comes to controlling your thoughts, you really got to sit back and think before you make an action, because your thoughts really do control your actions and the character that you are. So just my opinion about this, I do feel like he could have sat back just a little bit more. I do feel like as a woman of Jada, what her name is, I feel like
Jada Pinkett Smith, yes.
In my position, I would never let my man embarrass himself like that in front of too many people. He worked too hard to get to where he was at. The comment was not that, it wasn't, he was defending his woman. I stand on him on that. But were you really, or was it just your emotions?
So that's a good question. Yeah. I had to ask myself the same thing, because most women that are married, they understand their husband's temperament. So if it's that my husband has worked and reached such accolades, and Will Smith, we cannot deny his work ethic, right? Yeah. This man is a hard worker, regardless to how he operates, regardless of how he reacts or how emotional he is. He's a hard worker, so he deserves everything that he has. Yeah. But the question we want to pose right now, at least I do, is as his wife, would you have stopped him from going to that stage? That's a serious question. Yeah. Would you have stopped him from making that decision, because you know it wasn't going to end well?
No, and as professionalism, this is what something else we was talking about behind stage is, once you get to a level, you are now setting standards. It's certain things that you're not going to be able to do when you was at this bottom level. That probably would have got off with a younger Will, but now you're grown and successful more than ever. So when you put yourself in a position like that, I feel like as a woman and as his woman, it wouldn't went down like that. It wouldn't. And some people even pointed out the view of she doesn't she not once have not defended him on social media, like not even once said anything about it. So I just feel like at this moment we really don't know what's going through their head. We don't even know what's going on in their household. I know he's mentally going through it because now your career and your award is on the line at this time. So now he really has to think. I hope that he is sitting back thinking like, so what is really going on with me? What is really going on with this, with these emotions that I was feeling that I had to attack somebody? So
Right.
at this moment, I feel like we'll never know what's really going on behind closed door. It will never get out unless one of them actually come and talk about it. And I do feel bad for Chris just because he did have to go through that humiliation with millions of people just watching. This is not thousands, 2,000. This was millions of people and his fans was watching. And I just feel like at this moment, we need to understand that controlling your thoughts is one of the most important things that you need to focus on.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. You know, there were so many mixed feelings on this topic. You had some people that were like, yeah, good for him for defending her. And, but you're defending someone if there's a threat. There was
Yeah.
no threat in a joke, and I think that's the harsh reality that a lot of people who are emotional have to consider is that when you defend someone, when you protect someone, you're protecting them against something that can hurt them. A joke can hurt your feelings only.
Yeah.
That slap, that's assault. That's a
Yeah.
criminal law justified as assault or beating, battery, however you want to say it. So that those are the facts. People
Yeah.
can say and take it the way they want, but hey, the law is the law. And so we have to make sure that we don't get outside of ourselves and allow people to control our emotions with words. That's
Yeah.
all it is. So
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you for speaking to that today. And without further
You're
ado,
welcome.
if you can let people know who you are, where you're from, and what it is that you do.
Okay, well, I call myself the Faith Supplier. I am from Cincinnati, Ohio, but I am located in Georgia. I've been in Georgia since 2018. I actually moved to Georgia to follow my dreams. I actually didn't know what my dreams was. I just knew that I wanted to be successful. I felt it, and I knew that I was supposed to be bigger. That's all I knew. I knew I wanted to help people. I had started this business after I had my son. I started a business called Promotion Princess. And I would actually help people promote their business, but I would do it for free. I wouldn't charge people. And I started that. And I just was like really searching, like to find out who I really was. That is when I found God. When I ended up finding God, I turned into a whole nother woman. People really didn't expect this out of me. They always knew I like to talk and inspire people, but actually taking it to public places, speaking at events, writing books, doing workbooks, doing shirts, and just really letting God speak through me is something that I never imagined or either anybody else around me. Actually, me doing this. Starting to find God, I literally asked God for a restart. I don't know how y'all ever felt like this, but I felt like I was in a recycling bin. I felt like I kept going through the same things over and over again, and I knew I needed better. Not only did I need better, I needed more for my son. I needed more for my son because now I'm a mother. The hardest thing is being a mother and you're trying to find yourself at the same time while raising another human. That's the hardest thing. So at that moment, what I did was I told God, I'm like, look, whatever you got to do, I need it. I kid y'all not, 2 weeks later, I end up losing everything to both of my jobs and my car. I was staying under somebody else's roof for 4 months with no money or anything. God said that I was just preparing you for what the blessing was about to do to you. And at that moment, I just was planning everything out. I started to know who I was. I started to know that I was a speaker. The Faith Supplier Foundation, the foundation of me, of my brand, is fasting. I fast a lot. I am a faster. I will fast every day. I start fasting. When I start fasting, I started doing a Daniel fast. I actually did a Daniel fast for like 4 months. I only ate fruits and I only ate vegetables. I started intermittent fasting. I did a dry fast before. I just did so many fasts that was able to represent God and to let God know that I wanted to get on to another level. So I lived, like I said, I moved from I was in my goddad house. I ended up moving to a friend house after that. Then I got my own apartment. I ended up getting evicted from my apartment and ended up having to live in my car for 6 weeks. And that 6 weeks, I ended up getting me a whole nother apartment. I was Ubering at the time also. So Ubering is like another side gig that I do in order to get my money. Right now, y'all are looking at a woman that digged her way out of digged her way out of depression, loneliness, just not wanting to be alone, not feeling love, not feeling like I could ever be on camera like this because I wasn't pretty enough. Like if the old me would have asked you for a filter, girl, we got some filters for these. That was me. But yeah, now y'all looking at the fake supplier, a woman that's going after her dreams, her goals, somebody that is not going to give up on what she's supposed to do and her purpose on this earth.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. You've gone through a lot. I mean, and
Yeah,
you're still so young, and you have
I
someone
am.
else that's looking up to you. So it's so important that, you've given us that journey of where you started. So it
Yeah.
seemed like after one job after another, it just wasn't falling through. And then you finally latched onto something that was lucrative enough to put you in a more stabilized position. Now,
Yeah.
you mentioned, a lot of things in what you just said. At some point, you lacked a lot of confidence. What aided in that confidence building for you?
Well, so are you asking like what basically added on to the confidence that make it build up?
Yeah, what improved your self-confidence and your self-love?
Oh my God. So what really improved my self-confidence and my self-love was God. Honestly, and that season had literally just now passed for me recently, like a month ago. What really happened, how it all really started is like what I really seen that I really didn't love myself is when to I went to a speaking event, and when I went to the speaking event, what I end up doing is when I see some videos of myself, I did not like the way that I looked it. Okay, y'all, I cried the next day. I stayed in bed all day, and that's when God put me on this fast. Now, what added to this confidence was my fast. Okay, I went literally 60 days with no weave, no makeup, no lashes, no nails, and God was like, no, you're going to love yourself at this time. You're going to love yourself at all states. I didn't like my weight. Okay, we're going to change all that. But first, this is what I want you to do. I want you to start loving yourself. So I started loving myself more. I didn't use filters on my pictures for that amount of time. And what's so crazy now, I hate filters. Like, don't put no filter on me. I'm too cute. Like, so I literally, that ad that God did for me was he pushed me to love myself. He knew I wanted to lose the weight, but he was like, I need you to love yourself on all aspects of your life, no matter where you're at. So I think what really pushed that, or not think, but I know what really pushed that, it was just God's love and God pushing me to like, no, you're beautiful. And now I just think I'm the stuff. Y'all hear me? I do too much. Okay. I do too much. And also, I would definitely say affirmations. So, with controlling your thoughts, affirmations is a great way to help you. So, I will have affirmations on a mirror saying, I am beautiful, I am amazing, I am grateful. I will have all of these affirmations actually like pouring into myself and telling myself that I am worthy, that you are pretty the way you are. And that right there, that alone boosts my confidence just by telling myself that every day.
That's amazing. Now, would you say, were there people in your life growing up? Wait, before I ask that question,
Okay.
the audience member says, keep showing your peers that it can be done instead of being like the Kardashians and say, get off your peach.
Yeah. See, and you know the thing about it, I really it's funny you say that because right now that's who I'm really targeting. What I just found out is that my youth is my target audience. I'm also
Mhm.
starting my own podcast called Save This Generation because I feel like
Mhm.
it's a lot of people a lot of people, not people, but this generation that is not like me. For the audience that doesn't know, I am only 23 years old. So I'm not older at all. Like, it's not a lot of people that's looking for God like me and just like dwelling in him. So I definitely do agree. And just to bounce back on that, I want to put down that I'm sorry guys, just 1 second. I'm sorry.
Well, guys, for everyone that's tuned in, she's 23 years old and she is already like finding out who she is. She's already finding God. She's been on a very long journey at age 23. So that goes to show you age is nothing but a number.
Age is nothing but a number, and age is nothing but a number. But what really builds you, what really build you into who you want to be is what you go through. It's not about your age. It's what you go through that builds you. And as y'all know, I said that I lived in my car, right? First of all, I was only supposed to live in my car for 3 days. 3 days turned into 6 weeks. I could have easily went back home, y'all, laid on my mama couch, not really laid there because I'm a hard worker, but I could have went back home to my mom and just thugged it out like that. But going back home, I had to leave the nest. I had to put myself on a whole nother level. And even my mom's like, you can come back. And I'm like, I know, mama, but something that I want to indwell in young people, when things get hard, you can't keep running back home. You have to deal. We are adults now. We have to deal with this. We have to deal with this path. So yeah, just to like touch back on that, because like, girl, yeah, you have to deal with your past. And it just elevated me on a whole nother level. So to turn all the way back on that, age is nothing but a number. Because if people would look at me like, what can you teach me? What, I want to be a life coach. Somebody, a grown man or whatever, asked me like, what can you teach me? Because you're 23. But you think I can't teach you nothing because I'm young, but it's not true. Because I got myself out of depression. I got myself out of loneliness. I didn't love myself. I tried to kill myself. It's so much that I got myself out of, and I didn't have anybody but God to lean on.
And then that's so many different experiences that a lot of people, no matter how old they are, have never felt ever. So as the audience member says, bravo, that's not an easy task. So it doesn't matter how old you are. And I would say a vote of advice, which may not need to be given, but I'll just put it in the universe anyway, is that you're going to meet a lot of people who are going to have that attitude because they simply don't know, right?
Yeah.
We learn through our experiences. If you don't have any really in-depth experiences, or you know what, I'm thinking about ending it all because I just can't take it type of experience in your life, you're not going to understand a person like yourself. When they run across you, they're just assuming you're a kid, you're 23. People don't even consider humans grown until 25, to be realistic. But you can't judge people by the cover of the book, like they say. You can't judge a book by its cover. You got to get to know people and find out what their story is. So I'm sorry that happened to you, and expect more, but just keep standing strong like what you're doing, and continue to grace us with positivity, and also showing us ways to come out of depression, to help us flourish and understand how to get ourselves out of these financial holes, as a lot of people are experiencing right now. Another audience member says, my grandmother always said, if you are the smartest one in the room, leave.
Yeah, for real. I like that one.
It's true, because you've outgrown the tank. I've also heard a euphemism to it kind of goes like you've outgrown your fish tank. You know, like you're the biggest fish in the room, and you can't learn anything from these people. So now it's time to take it up a notch. Start surrounding yourselves around other life coaches and people who have actually gone through real life experiences, and you'll see that the conversation will be completely different. Now, I want to ask you a few more questions here. How can the audience support you? Tell us what you're working on, what you're doing currently, what it is that you're pushing in 2022.
Okay, so basically how you guys can like really help me is right now, I really want y'all to help me by just supporting me. Go to my page, share share my videos. I am about to have a t-shirt line come out. I'm about to have self-love devotional books come out. A lot of stuff that's going to help our community. Also with my podcast that's about to drop. I don't have a date yet. I'm actually a batch creator, so I want to just get a lot of episodes done before I actually make a date. I just like to be organized. That's just always been me before I actually give a date out. Another way that I feel like y'all can support me is give me encouraging words. One thing about it, y'all think because motivational people, the strongest people in y'all circle, they need the motivation too. It be days that I just feel like I can't talk to nobody because I'm the motivation. I motivate everybody else, but when it just comes down, not saying that they don't, they do. But I be needing to hear that every once in a while. Like just keep going. Don't give up. Keep improving. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel like that too. And also, one last thing, I do not want to forget this. I am actually in a competition right now to get on a reality TV show. So on this reality TV show, is for content creators. I'm a content creator. I just make inspiring content creation to help people. So what you will do is you will click on a link on my Facebook page or my Instagram page and go in and vote for me. Everybody gets a free vote. Every vote after that, say if you vote $5 or $10, that $10 will be 10 votes, and that $10 will go into a nonprofit that is helping mental health awareness and young teens and young adults and suicide prevention. So your $10 is really going to help me and actually help a nonprofit. So when you go ahead and you click that link, I actually made it all the way to the third round. I'm on the third round. They're picking the next top 5 people. I'm in place 6. So I need y'all to, boost that number
Look,
up
you're
just
just
a little
one
bit.
away. So
I'm
make
just
sure you
one
guys go to her page.
I'm
Also,
literally
look
just
at the
one away.
streamer that's down below. All of the face suppliers information is there for Instagram as well as YouTube.
Yes.
So definitely support this queen. You're doing a lot for the community. And I love what you said earlier, but hold on, let me pause right quick.
Okay.
April Showers, thank you so much for tuning in to the show today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share. The face supplier is dropping gems today. This woman is only 23 years old. She's been homeless. She's lost multiple jobs, but she is still standing. And this is a true testimony to if you don't give up, there's no telling what tomorrow may bring. So let me get back to you. So we talked about so much.
I know.
We talked about your life. We talked about Will Smith. We talked about Chris Rock. We talked about Jada Pinkett Smith. And it all evolves from the whole topic today, which is controlling your thoughts. Yeah. So you are a live testimony that if you keep your thoughts in control, you can overcome anything. You can overcome anything. So I'm grateful to have you on this show today. You were digging deep a second ago. Tell me what you just said because I literally lost my train of thought.
Girl, I lost it.
You said something that really resonated with me, and I'm trying to think what it was.
What did I say?
That us being strong women, or even the men out there, they're strong too. People in general that are public speakers, people who are speaking life into other people who are always strong and positive, we get tired too.
We get tired.
And that is facts. I got to speak to that because all last year, 2021, I was tired. Spiritually tired. Because when you give, and nobody's pouring back in, besides the few people that truly love you, it becomes draining. So you, as a public speaker or public figure, have to know when to cut that off, when to cut ties with certain people, because some people are toxic and they don't even realize that they're toxic, right?
Yes, and right now I feel like I'm in 2 seasons in one right now. I'm in one season where I'm in the uncomfortable season. I got to do things that's going to make me uncomfortable. I got to step out of my shell a little more. I got to step into people's faces a little more, and not step into people's faces on a bad thing, but opening up my mouth and telling people who I am, going to networking events, just really bushing my schedule up with uncomfortable situations. Another thing, I feel like I am in isolation mode right now. In order, I don't know, have y'all seen Sarah Jakes? That's my baby. I love listening to her. And Sarah Jakes just had a speaking, and in order for transformation, it is time for isolation. And I feel like I am in an isolation moment. It's to the point I don't want to be around people. I just want to be by myself. At this moment, I don't have my son. He's actually with his dad in California. We do half a year, all that. So right now, I just have myself to worry about. And when you're in the isolation mode, you become this new woman, this new person, this new man. Sometimes you're gonna have to get away from people. You have to know your people, gotta know your boundaries. If they can't respect boundaries, they can't be next to you. That's period, point blank. You gotta have boundaries with people to let people know that they can't play with you on certain levels, or y'all can't cross them boundaries, or you gonna get cut off. And when
Period.
this all cuts turn back to controlling your thoughts, because your thoughts will reflect on how you look at yourself, and your thoughts actually will reflect on other people on how they will look at you also. So if you don't get them boundaries in place, people only treat you on how you let them treat you. They
Well,
would
we have
never
to
treat you
show
on
them. We have to show them
that.
how to treat us. We have to
Yes.
know when to draw the line in the sand with these people.
Yes, and that's and literally that is the reason why Sister Talk is talking about controlling your thoughts today, because your thoughts are magical. He said that your thoughts are the literally life or death. Your thoughts will come about everything you say. That's
Yep.
why you think things just randomly just happen. No, it's because you brought them to yourself. You were already thinking negative. You know what I'm saying? So at this moment, I want to just drive right back to the people that's like us, the mentally strong ones like us. I literally have to say to myself, I am mentally strong almost every day, because sometimes I feel weak in the mind, because it's like I feel at the end of the day that the thoughts that I be having, I'm so encouraging, I'm so inspiring. But when I need to talk to somebody, do you feel like sometimes even when you talk to people that just don't even help? Like that,
Oh
me
yeah.
venting don't even help at this point. That's how I feel. So that's why when it comes to strong people like us, what did he say?
No, Shay says that's a female. She
Oh,
says
okay,
your
okay.
thoughts can project the wrong or right energy. Better
Yes.
preach all
Yes.
day, every day, all day,
Yes.
every day. Another person says teach them. This is
Teach.
true. It's fact.
Yeah. Because I just feel like when it comes to your thoughts control who you are. And if you don't get your thoughts, your negative thoughts at that, we're not just talking about any thoughts, we're talking about the negative thoughts. Because if you don't get in control of the negative thoughts will actually bring, you will dig yourself in a mentally hole, into depression, into loneliness, into sadness, into feeling unworthy. I don't feel, when I look at the enemy or I look at the devil, I don't think of this red big man. I think of my negative thoughts. I feel like it's the enemy trying to pull you against your own self. It's trying to turn you against the person that you're supposed to be. It's trying to turn you into the woman or the man that you know that you can be at the end of the day. Because me and you both know, once you tap into that power that you're really supposed to be, you're going to be the GOAT. You're going to accomplish everything that you want to accomplish. You're going to move everything that you need to move. You're going to save families. You're going to break generational curses. We know. But of course, the enemy going to do everything of course, the enemy going to try to do everything that he needs to do to pull you away from your purpose. Let me tell y'all something. The enemy doesn't want nothing. He don't want your kids. He don't want your money. He wants your purpose, because he know once you tap into that purpose, it's game over. He know once you really go for it and what God wants for you, it's game over. So at the end of the day, we have to learn to control your thoughts. We also have to learn that us being chosen, because I don't know if anybody else feel the same how I feel in here, but us being chosen and being the one that's going to break generational curses, the being the one that we know we're going to be the first millionaire in our families, to be the one that we want to save people. Because people always ask me, why do you want to be a millionaire? And the first thing I say now, because I really thought about it, I just want to be a blessing for other people. And that's simple. So at this moment, I just feel like gather your thoughts together, write down those negative thoughts, and reboot them out with a positive one. A lot of people don't know that you have 5 seconds to reboot whatever just came to your head, because if you don't, in the 5 seconds, if you don't catch that negative thought, you're going to start talking to yourself. You're going to start making up scenarios that ain't never happened before. You're going to start thinking about the past. God said live in the present. The past already gone. It's nothing that you can do about it. So when you're leaving there, then you're going to be able, you're going to literally just stay there. But I keep talking, y'all, but I'm just telling y'all.
No, you're doing great. Let me catch up with some of these comments.
Yeah,
It
okay,
says,
let's catch up the
Shay
comments.
says,
I'm like,
that's
I'm going to keep
why, no,
talking.
you're good. That's why the Bible says, be transformed by the renewing of the mind.
Yes.
And
yes.
and also earlier, I want to say this is Jeff, but I'm not. Please, if it's not Jeff, I'm sorry. I just can't see because it says Facebook user. Tell them about these energy vampires,
Yes.
people that will suck you dry.
Your
That's kind of
energy
what I was
away.
thinking
They will
earlier.
suck. They will suck everything they
Yes.
got until that you let it get them.
Exactly. And then also he says TD Jakes talked about not letting people block your blessings, the let them walk speech. And this is true.
Yeah,
you have to know. And you know, when we're in our purpose, sometimes we get distracted because we're trying to fulfill all these things that we know that God is placing in our heart and our minds to get done. And then everybody that's around us are not really here to support us or to push us to that next level. They're literally there to suck your energy out, to get all your ideas, your information, your hard labor. How'd you do it? They're not there to support you always. So you need to be able to be present in knowing who is there in your corner, seriously there for you and cares about you and your purpose and the path that God has placed you on. So very, very great information and advice that you're giving. I love it.
Yeah, and I just want to leave off just by saying, when it comes to God, God is somebody that's gonna be there for you through no matter what. And of course, I just said I'm in a season of doing it, being isolated, but just know that you're isolated alone. You're isolated with God. You're not really alone. So this route that God is taking you on, some of y'all losing friends, some of y'all are losing close connections with people. It's because He needs you to be isolated. The last time I was isolated, I found out I was supposed to be a speaker. So now He's isolated me and I'm walking in my purpose. I really want to see what else He got up His sleeve right now, because isolation is just a perfect recipe, the ingredient to you being transformed into another person, transformed into the woman that you see yourself, transformed into to something great. So use this isolation. Sometimes you're gonna have to disappear for like 6 months and come back booming, because they think you're not working, but you're working. So sometimes this is mandatory to see who you really want to be.
I love it. Thank you so much for ending on such a powerful note. Use the isolation as a spiritual cleanse. Use it as a physical cleanse. You know, a lot of these people that we're hanging around, we're calling friends, they're not our friends.
Yeah.
They are in obvious competition, not even silent, you know, obvious competition, or they're there to just take what they can get, referring to the energy vampires. We have all of that. Be able to have a power of discernment within first, so that you can have a power of discernment with the company that you keep. So I want to thank you so much, the Faith Supplier, for coming on to the show today. I'm going to put your information, let it stream down below so people can go subscribe to your YouTube channel and give you that support that you need. And congratulations on all of your new ventures. I'm very proud of you. I've not even met you in real life. I hope to meet you one day at a grand event. You keep doing what you're doing. You stay on track. And until we meet again, ma'am, you guys have a blessed Sunday. To all our viewers, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys again on next month, and we will have a life coach, a male life coach, gracing our stage. And I can't wait to hear what he has to say. Until then, guys, stay blessed and be safe.
Bye.